Hello, Steve Mills here from Results Mastery. I've spent over 30 years helping small businesses to become more effective in the fields of sales and marketing. Now, today I want to talk to you about my six-step process, which is all about mastering your sales and marketing results. If you watched my video yesterday, you'll know that the number one thing that I believe that 99% of small businesses are suffering from is obscurity. In other words, they're not known, or at least not known by enough people. If you think about how many people know, like, and trust your business, and how many people there are within your potential market, you probably find, like most people, you're only marketing to a small fraction of your true potential. So you've got to get better known. However, today I'm going to talk to you about once you've got known by somebody, you've got to then focus on consistent communication. So let me give you this scenario. Has this ever happened to you? You connect to somebody on LinkedIn and then you don't ever hear from them again. I know it has to me many times. Or you meet somebody at a networking event, you go and you pay for your breakfast and you do, you chat and get on well and exchange business cards perhaps, agree to keep in touch, and guess what happens? Nothing. And this is one of I suppose, the second biggest problem. We need to keep in touch. But what we don't need to do is to meet somebody and then our first communication with them is, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to buy something else? And that happens again all the time. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. If you've listened to my videos, you've heard me say that 1,000 times. Why? Because it's true. And yet I see people making this big mistake time and time again, right? You've got to communicate on a consistent basis. The question is, what are you going to communicate? What you're going to communicate is you're going to give them valuable content before you ever ask for any money. So you're going to position you as the expert in whatever it does. So let me give you an example. If I ran the Steve Mills Landscape Gardening company, I'd be sending out things. If somebody connected to me on LinkedIn, I might send them a report about how to prepare your garden for winter. I'm doing this in September, so it's like current. It's of interest to people right now because winter's coming, be sure of that. But I don't really know what I need to do. I've not got the level of knowledge. I'm a very amateur gardener, and I've got somebody here who clearly knows what they're talking about. The other thing to do is to do what I'm doing here, present with a video. Why am I doing this? What do you think my reasons are? Because I've got nothing better to do? No, it's because I want to position myself with my knowledge and my experience going back 30 years as an expert. Or at least I don't like the definition of an expert. An expert says to me that you know everything about everything, and I definitely don't know everything about marketing, and I don't know everything about anything in truth. But I have got a very high level of knowledge of this, but you don't have to be too brilliant to know what works and what doesn't. After having worked with over 10,000 businesses, spent hundreds of thousands of hours. I'm not sure that's quite true, but many thousands of hours learning from the world's leading marketing experts, and now helping small businesses to market themselves. So it's really about consistent communication. Now, how do you do that? Well, there's obvious ways, aren't there? You could advertise. that would keep you in front of your target market on a consistent basis. You could email, get that list going out there. But again, consistent. Consistent doesn't mean a quarterly newsletter. It doesn't mean a monthly email. It means consistent. Now, it varies from industry to industry, but if you're like me, you want to be emailing people on a weekly basis. If you're a coach, consultant, advisor, trainer, anybody like that, anybody what I'd sort of call in the helping industry, then you might want to think about a weekly form of communication. You want to be communicating with your LinkedIn contacts. And I see people all the time talk to me about LinkedIn or social media, and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, and I post there on a regular basis." And I say, "Oh, what does regular mean?" They say, "Oh, once a week." That's like going down to the gym and doing 10 curls once a month and thinking, right, I don't know why I'm not fit. That's because you're not doing enough. You've got to do things consistently. There's also the one of these things. Have you seen one of these before? Yeah. I've changed the. I've got really beautiful view of Kynance Cove there. That's a place that I used to go on holiday as a child down Cornwall. If you ever get a chance to go there, go there. I didn't mean to show you that, but I did. So, what are these? This, if you don't pick it up and use it as a phone and talk to your clients and prospects and people you know on LinkedIn, it is not a smartphone. It is a dumb phone. Okay. It's a dumb phone because you're using it in a dumb way. Right, you should be, yes, you can post on here, and yes, you can share and like and comment and all those sorts of things. But this is a business phone. If you use it for socially, if you're want to use it in your social world, fair enough. But pick up the phone and make calls. I used to have I showed you this, and I used to have a sign on here, and it read, "Pick me up and I'll make you money." So there's a really good message there. Pick this phone up. The more people you speak to, the more money will end up in your bank account. It's as simple as that. So I think that's just about all I want to say. Communicate with your list. Build your list. You need to have a CRM system. If you want to find out about the world's best CRM system, then get in touch with me. We use and endorse and sell some system that is like the world's leading digital marketing system. And if you want to know what that is and how to use it and what it does, get in touch and book a meeting. My website is results-mastery.com, and go there and you can book a meeting using one of the gold buttons. That's it. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I'll speak to you again hopefully tomorrow. Thank you.